When we think about hybrids, Toyota is probably one of the first brands that comes to your mind. It has a long legacy of electrification that is over 30 years, but it is the age of pure EVs. And after taking its own sweet time, Toyota has finally stepped into the market with its first electric vehicle for the Indian market, and this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Car and Bike. I am Seshan Vijay Raghavan, and this right here is the Toyota Urban Cruiser EBella. But before I get into the review, if you are new to the channel, do subscribe to Car and Bike, and while you're at it, hit that bell notification as well so you never miss an update from us. Now, it is not a hidden fact that this is based upon the Maruti Suzuki e-Vitara. In fact, these two have the same platform, have the same battery setup, and they also have similar specs and figures. But we'll get to that in a bit. What Toyota has done to give its distinctive mark is change the looks of the SUV. So you can see that the face is completely redesigned. In fact, I prefer this design over the e-Vitara. This has more smoother lines, cleaner lines. In fact, if you see this section, it is very Range Rover-esque. So you have that plain design with this slit. Looks quite nice. In fact, this is what Toyota calls its hammerhead design, and you can see the elements in the lighting. So the headlights design has also changed. The DRLs are nicer. You also have more premium black elements and lesser cladding, and that's a plus in my books. But if Toyota could have done that, they could have also changed the alloy wheels, because these designs are identical to the one on the e-Vitara. That if the company had gone for a different design, that would have given it distinctive look to the SUV. Although you do get an additional badging on across the car, which is of Toyota's BEV, that you will find here and also on the charging port. And same is the case with the rear section of the car. You have the similar connected LED tail lamps. You have the same set of bumpers, of course the same design. Nothing has changed over here. What has changed is though the badgings. Yes, you have the Toyota badging, and if you remember, the e-Vitara had a center badging underneath the logo. Here you have the name split, Urban Cruiser over there and EBella over here. As I mentioned, company did take the effort to change the face of the car. That effort could have gone over here as well, and that would have actually give it that distinction when you see the cars on road. But when you look at the exterior design, it is very international in terms of design language, and the cabin is similar. In fact, this cabin is identical to the e-Vitara except for the Toyota logos. Everything remains unchanged, and if I hide this, you won't be able to make the difference out. And that is not a bad thing, because the design is nice. It is very European, so if you like that kind of design, then you will certainly like this car as well. I particularly like it. So there are some things that I don't like, and for the matter is this hazard button. This could have been integrated into these toggle switches. This over here looks a bit out of the place. However, I like the finishing of these panels. The layers look nice. Display, of course, is the same. It is a 10.1-inch display. You have a digital cluster over here as well. Quite informative. You have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. All the works is present. But one thing I am not a big fan of is this gear shifter. Now, if you want to put it on drive, you have to press this and then turn it to D, or press this and turn it to left for reverse. This is something that feels a bit off. It could have been a normal shifter toggle. That would have been nicer. But the neutral position is just push it in and it will go into neutral. You have the park button and everything else is fine. One thing I've noticed is this area, the driver area, or be it the passenger area, it is a bit cramped. I see that my knees get hit by the center console, and I wish there was more room inside the car. It is not as roomier as I thought it would be, or I would have expected more space over here. The ergonomics feel a bit too compact, and it might happen if you are someone of a big stature like me. Otherwise, everything is nice. Fit and finish is good. The steering is also nice, has a nice grip to it. You have a nice big sunroof as well. This is not a panoramic sunroof, although the company calls it a panoramic sunroof, but it is nice and big. bigger than the average sunroof. The seats are nice. In fact, you get these design, the same layout in across the range. The only difference is on this top of the line, you get these leather accents, whereas the lower variants will get all fabric material. Now, there are things that could have been better. Firstly, the 360-degree view camera, the display, the quality of the camera itself is not that great. That could have been better. Secondly, there are a lot of features that are integrated into the display. Now, you have some manual controls like for the AC and infotainment, but something like seat ventilation that is inside the display. So that could have also been added or integrated into the buttons over here. That would have been a better feature in terms of functionality. And the same thing can be said about the rear seat experience as well, because cars in this segment, people buy them to be a family car, and this car is in terms of rear seat space is quite cramped. It is you can have 2 people sitting over here and that would be fine, but you cannot have 3 people sitting here despite the flat floor, because it will be a tight squeeze. Now you have the option to pull this entire middle section and get this nice big armrest, but I feel that this is a bit too low anyway, and also this leaves a big hole over here. So it is good if you want to access the boot directly from here, but I feel that a small panel over here could have been a better finish. Now, while space might not be its biggest plus, the flexibility aspect is quite high. Now, of course, you have this center armrest, but you also can slide this rear seat, so you can get some room over here depending on your requirement, good leg space. The backrest also can be reclined to a level, and you also have 3 pointed seat belts for all passengers and adjustable headrest as well. One additional feature is that here you get a JBL surround sound system, JBL branded, whereas on the e-Vitara, the car that this is based upon, gets an Infinity system, which is again from the same family of Harman Kardon. Now, yes, you have the space is good. You have the rear AC vents over here. You have chargers. These all remain functional, but it is nothing that stands out and gives you a premium experience. And that is missing in terms of rear seat experience. Now with the EBella, you also get the level 2 advanced driver assistance system. So you have the ADAS suite with you that offers you all the functions like front collision warning and avoidance assist. You have the lane departure warning and avoidance assist. You have also the proper 360-degree camera, the blind spot monitor, all that is available. And that feature is mainly exclusive to the top of the line variant. The lower variants, although, will offer you a bunch of safety features like 7 airbags, which is standard. You also get electronic stability control, ABS with brake assist. You will get ISOFIX child seat mounts. You have rear parking sensors, 3-pointed seat belts for all passengers, and adjustable headrest for all occupants. All these features are standard across the variant lineup, and some of the others that I haven't mentioned you will find on the screen. Now, like the e-Vitara, here too you get the option of 2 battery packs. One is a 49 kilowatt hour unit, and the second one, the one that I am driving today in this top of the line variant, is a 61 kilowatt hour unit. Now, in terms of figures, both these battery pack options offer you a torque of 193 Newton meter, whereas power output on this bigger battery pack unit is 172 brake horsepower. The same for the smaller battery pack is about 142. Now, let's talk about this one. Claimed range on this electric car with the bigger battery pack is 543 kilometers on a single charge, and that is quite a substantial number. Now, Toyota hasn't given us any real world scenario figures for it. This is an ARAI figure, so you will have to wait for a real world range test, but I expect anywhere more than 400 kilometers on a single charge in real world condition from this electric SUV. Now, in terms of performance, you have those signature traits of an electric vehicle. The torque is instantly available right from the get-go. So slight push on the throttle and it just goes. And that is the feeling you expect from an electric vehicle. You get it over here. Now, it is quick, but it is also measured. So unlike some of the more powerful electric vehicles in this segment, it will not unsettle you right as soon as you press the throttle. It will give you a rush though. Now, on paper, that 193 Nm of torque might not seem too big, especially when you consider some of the other SUVs in this segment like the Mahindra B6 or even the Hyundai Creta. Those offer more torque, but the spec sheets do not tell the whole story. So it is when you drive it, that is when you feel it, because all that torque, as I mentioned earlier, is available from the word go. So it is enough. And if you are someone who drives mainly in the city and occasionally go take it out on the highways, then this will be sufficient, and this will fulfill all your needs from an electric vehicle of this size. Now, when we talk about electric vehicles, braking regeneration is also part of the package, and the EBella 2 gets it. But unlike some of the other cars, you do not get multiple levels, you only have one level, and there's a button over here which activates the one pedal function. Yes, it's not a proper one pedal feel, but as soon as you lift your foot off the accelerator, you do feel the system engaging those brakes, and that is something that you can use if you want to conserve the battery a bit more. And for the driver in you, there is a proper dedicated driving mode button as well. So you have three modes. The normal is the default mode, then you have the sports mode, which once activated gives you instant pull and acceleration. And if you want to conserve the battery and get a bit of efficiency from this EV, then at the press of the same button activates the eco mode, and that offers you a bit more range. It functions a bit more efficiently. Now, it is not a huge difference, but it is something that will help over a long period of driving. Now, when we talk about the on-road mannerisms of this SUV, I feel that could be one of its weak links, mainly because the suspension has been tuned very much in the style of an European vehicle. That means that it is a bit on the stiffer side, and you do feel some of the bumps and undulations on the road quite apparently. Now, give it a good set of roads, you won't feel anything. It will just glide over it, and you will have a nice, comfortable drive. But as you can see right now, it is a paved road, but Indian roads have a lot of bumps. You have these extra patchworks, you have potholes, and when you come across one of those, then you will feel the harshness inside the cabin. You will feel those jerks, and that really unsettles you while you're driving it. And this is the case even with its twin, the Maruti Suzuki e-Vitara. And I feel that both these brands could have worked upon the suspension and tuned it in a way to suit the Indian roads and suit the driving style of Indian consumers. And that would have made it a better SUV, because the company is positioning this as a sensible EV, something that a family car buyer will purchase. So in a nutshell then, the eBella is not very different from its cousin, the e-Vitara. In fact, this electric vehicle ticks all the right boxes in terms of what you're looking for an urban electric vehicle. It is good looking, it has good creature comforts, it has good tech, and it has a good range on offer. So it does everything right, but it doesn't stand out in any major way. There are electric vehicles in the market that are offering a lot more than the basic necessity. In terms of those electric vehicles, this feels a bit dated. So to some, it might feel that Toyota is offering a little too less, a little too late. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments. And as for other numbers, Toyota is offering you an 8 years of warranty with this battery. And we have known for years that this company, when it comes to after-sales service, has always been top-notch. So those could be some of the reasons why you might want to buy a sensible EV like the Toyota Urban Cruiser eBella. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments. And for more such videos, keep following Car and Bike.